can it be? Come, stand in the light. It has been too long. I had feared I was the last of us, but you... Oh, the very sight of you is a balm for the soul. I am the Oracle Sargamas, servant of the once shining god, he whose light has lately dimmed.
EFS?
What brings you to this sacred space?
You name yourself after one of the early figures in Euthosian scripture?
Then Sargamas spoke, and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of the bright day's sun. Weep not, for the child of light has forgiveness even for you.
Sorry,
if
1 second, I actually need to go low.
Embrace him. I am that same Sargamas. Though it has been some time since a man has knelt before me and begged absolution, as Hamka did. The people do not hold to the gods any longer, and they do not hold to their servants. We live in a time of disbelief. The gods are absent, and have recalled their gifts from the world. Avarice reigns. Acquisition is the faith to which all men bow. But perhaps there is hope. You have read the Book of Verses, and we are here together, if only briefly. In this moment, we are not entirely alone.
Right, sorry about that. I heard there was a temple of the EFS in this cave.
Be welcome, for you have found it. People like you and I once sought this place in moments of spiritual turmoil, when the world and our souls could not find rest. Moments of war, famine, massacres, when those such as us are called upon to speak the gods' wills and to lead. But I have seen not one of us these last 3 years, and it is rare indeed that pilgrims come to pray. Perhaps our meeting now is the work of immortal hands. I pray that it is so.
Why would a godlike visit this temple, and not the temples of their patron god?
Godlike. Such a meager word for us, who are the gods' eyes and ears and hearts. We are the phenomena through which the gods experience the world. We are as like the gods as a finger is like a man. You and I and our raptured brethren, we are the gods themselves.
That's all very poetic, but it doesn't answer the question.
Right?
Is this place special to godlikes?
It had been once, when we were legion, but no longer. Our kind came here to find fellowship and understanding, in a world determined to bend us to its purposes.
Why we need fellowship?
Consider a child of Rimagond. Yoked to the Oryx's will, they are born already in decay. They are divine lepers, revered and reviled both. Their burdens are immeasurable, but they have been touched by the divine, so their gifts are as well. Only those like us can truly understand that balance, its agonies and its ecstasies.
Did you build the statue?
Indeed. It has been my obsession these last few years. Hewn by my own hands from stone in Ardra, and no small degree of melancholy. I suspect it will be my last great labor before this body is returned to the earth, and I am returned to my god.
Alrighty then. Why a statue?
And not a library? A clinic? Something that might bring a greater good into this benighted world? I leave such projects to the children of Helia, Margarin, even Wow in their way. No, a statue is what my lord deserves. A graven image for a remorseless god.
Lovely.
Cold as winter light, distant as the tallest peaks of the White March, fit only for he who stares at history and does not blink.
So you're exceptionally old, is that true?
What an impertinent question! Indeed, my soul has dwelled in this form for centuries, beyond even the lifespan of the longest-lived elf. My lord Aethys inspired my birth in the same year the kingdom of Adir was founded. You might say my birth heralded the empire you now serve.
He old as fuck. Yeah, that's over 600 years ago.
About 630, yes. Give or take a decade. One does lose count.
Must witness some unbelievable things.
Many, yes. Some that inspired awe, others dread. For a time, I proselytized among the colonists who first settled Eir Glanfath. I held the door of my parish church against an onslaught of Glanfathan raiders, and I watched them fall prostrate before my light. I tended the wounded in the Broken Stone War, the War of Black Trees, the War of Defiance, and in many wars that were never given the dignity of a name, and since have been forgotten. I can hardly recall them anymore.
Who was that?
Is that what they're calling him now? I heard the man that was Widewind speak when he was but a farmer. He had a presence even then, furious, incandescent.
Who's
It was
Widewind?
astonishing, his power. I wonder, had my lord already made a home in his body by then? Did my lord share with Widewind his plans to wage a pointless, bloody war while wearing the poor man's face? What a grave injustice, to have your body stolen and be made into a saint. Tragic Widewind. Pitiable Widewind. I grieve for what became of him.
Okay. Do it should have been you that was made a saint?
God help me. I do.
You spent a long time in the Deer Wood. What made you stay?
The Deerwood has been a troubled place since the very moment of its inception. Conflicts erupted as regularly as spring flowers, to bloom and die as swiftly. So, there is always some dark corner in need of light, if you'll indulge me in the metaphor. Truthfully, I had been jailed for proselytizing in Colklin, and it was to the colonies I was exiled. So it was the Deerwood or death. I had nowhere else to go.
Oh. Have you died yet?
That is a question for my lord. I have asked him many times, but even when he spoke to me, he would not say. I suspect it is his essence that has kept me alive, and now that he has abandoned this world, well, I soon expect to die.
Eothas talk to you?
In prayer, in dreams, as I ate and loved and labored, his voice was a constant murmuring in my ear. But when I
Sounds
spoke
distracting.
to him, he never did reply. So, do not mistake his talking for a conversation. He only wanted to be heard. Be my guest.
You really are godlike?
I am as you are, though I do not care for the word. Aethys the Dawn Treader is my lord and patron. If you will forgive me saying so, I am surprised to meet you here. Even before the vanishing of our kind, it had been some years since a child of Galawain came to speak with me. And I have never seen a member of the Lord of the Hunt's coterie whose visage resembles yours.
Assassin's Pursuits from Wilderness. That's because I'm not a godlike of Galawain?
Ah, of course.
Is it because I've got wood in my
should not have
face?
assumed. I have had the great privilege to speak with thousands of our kind during my long life. And you do not resemble a single one of them.
Thanks.
But if not Galawain, I cannot imagine who else among the Pantheon might have blessed you.
I don't know which god is my patron.
My relationship with my lord has oftentimes been the one succor through difficult seasons of my life. I hope that when you find your patron, it is the same for you. May I ask, as a god's child, did your earthly parents love you?
Go with this one? I don't know.
Even many kith untouched by gods are not so lucky.
Why did the godlike... the gods vanish? Wait, why did the gods vanish? Godlikes from the world.
There are many theories, which the holy and learned of Eora have only just begun to argue. But you did not ask me for theories. Frankly, I do not know for certain. However, I believe the gods are preparing for war.
A war against each other?
A war of all against all.
Freefall.
A struggle between destiny and design. Who yokes the soul of the world? Whose machinations turn the wheel? Who acts and whom is acted upon? That is the ultimate power, brother. The only power there is to decide the fate of another and to make it so. For so long as we have lived, it is the gods who have decided for us. But change is possible, if we are brave enough to want it. And kith have lately grown very brave indeed.
Been hearing a voice in my head since I arrived in the Silent. Could it be, my god?
I suppose it's not impossible, but the gods typically make themselves known to us in our earliest days, before we have left the comfort of the womb. They are present in our hearts and minds before we even have a notion of I at all. I am sorry. Yours is an unusual case.
Cool.
Tell me, this voice in your head, do you want it to be your god?
Want to know I'm not going mad?
You do not seem especially troubled. No more than any kith subject to life's uncertainties. As to what the voice is, if it is unlikely to be a god, I cannot say. It may be a particularly powerful soul attempting to control you, or the echoes of a past life. Perhaps it is the sending of an archmage, or some ancient construct of Engwithan make. Or it may just be the beginnings of the Dream Scourge.
Oh.
Whatever this voice is, I suspect only an expert in souls can say.
Looking for an expedition of my countrymen. Did they pass this way?
An expedition? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Right. Maps, ropes, pitons, rugged boots, water for days, people down here looking for stuff.
I am familiar with the concept, tomb raiding and the like. What troubles me is why they would come here. These ruins are not so different from the many others on this island, except that they are a good deal more treacherous. And this representation of Aethys we stand before,
Ooh, sorry,
it is the work of my own hands. They could not.
Apparently looking for some kind of relic.
Do you know what their purpose is here?
Do you really expect me to believe you have not seen them? There's only one way through this place.
It's a reasonable question, I'll grant you. You must understand, this place has seen so few visitors for so long that I often retreat into my private quarters. To read, you understand, or pray, or sleep. Age has made me slow. I tire easily. I sleep now more hours than I wake. They could have already come and gone, and I would be none the wiser. In any case, you haven't told me what it was they searched for. Or do you not know?
This is for a relic you're ruined to keep here.
Ah, the splinter of Aethys. I suppose it was too much to hope they were here to examine these exquisite ruins. Truly, it is their loss.
Where do you keep the relic? I might find them there.
It rests in a shrine deep within this temple complex, beyond the reach of looters, visitors, or indeed, myself. The path to the relic has fallen to ruin. Some sections are flooded, and others are infested with all manner of creatures. Although, perhaps you might assist me with that.
Right. Here it comes.
Right? Mm-hmm.
You see, this construction beside us is no mere statue, but a reliquary I have built to house the splinter of Aethys in its appropriate grandeur. It is nearly complete, and ready for the splinter to be interred. But I can no longer reach the relic on my own. Return it to me, and who knows, perhaps you will meet your expedition along the way.
Gotta poke around here first.
Take all the time you need. Oh, and please refrain from touching my statue or devices. May light illumine. Leave those be. They protect my devices.
Okay. Dude, you're bringing that to life. There's no way that thing's not gonna come to life and I'm gonna have to fight it or something. What's the point of this? Oh. Where does he sleep? Oh, we might be sleeping up there. Hmm. I guess they could walk by from this distance and he wouldn't notice.
Bridge has collapsed up ahead. My gut says that's the way to the relic. Root's clogging up this tunnel.
Why are you talking about swimming through? I'm already swimming through. This dam's gonna ruin these books.
I got this.
Which as far as that instance might come from. What the statue could do with it is unclear. It's definitely evil. Mate, you had one job.
Coming in hot.
And again, I never needed to come down here before, so there's that.
A water beetle, eh?
Quiet as the depths. Dream scourge ahead. Down.
Sick.
Let's see what you can make. That's all of them.
Eggplant. Potato. What did that activate? Hmm.
A pulse beating out of time. Should it be disturbed?
Big tree, pretty ruins. Don't let it fool you. Keep your guard up.
Good eyes. There's the relic. That must have been.
For the loop.